All right, welcome back, guys. A quick update today on the markets. It's a very important day. Today is the Fed meeting, the FOMC, and they are under pressure to respond to the inflation numbers. Yes, we see inflation being on almost its highs since the 80s, almost 15% for consumer inflation. So let's see how that translates to the markets. We have the S&P 500 here. We can clearly see something, as we know, as I explained in my first video, something like an M formation. So we could definitely see a correction today and in the coming weeks if the Fed will taper. Go over to Bitcoin. Bitcoin, same story. We see clearly a M formation here as well. If this would play out, this is no financial advice, but this is just me projecting some possible scenarios for Bitcoin in the coming weeks and years. That's just for fun. We can also see a bearish divergence, so a lower RSI here and a higher price, which is a bearish indicator. We can see that the RSI and the weekly is very much in a downtrend. After we had this correction here, we had a uptrend here, uptrend, and then we broke the uptrend. We have to keep a close eye on the TDI. That's a different version of the RSI. Whether this red signal line or this red RSI, fast moving RSI, is gonna go below the yellow single line. If this happens, we can really expect Bitcoin to correct quite intensely. Go over to Bitcoin futures charts. We do see that we have some gaps here. This is around the 33K. We have a gap here at the 25K. Doesn't mean that we will go there, but usually these charts are attracted by gaps. And again, we see the same sort of M formation. Also, TDI is close to crossing bearish here on the fast moving RSI on the market base here on the yellow line. So let's go over to the hourly chart. We see that Bitcoin opened the week here between the first high was 50,300 and the low was more or less 50K, and we traded away from that initial weekly spread, which means that we are clearly bearish. Right now we see that market makers are pushing the highs. I expect to trade sideways here. New York setting a high here at 3. Let's see where we at. Market opens in 2 hours, so here at 9. I expect New York maybe to hit the 49 to get the shorts out. Range here, wait for the Fed news, and if the Federal Reserve has this bad news with tapering, we could definitely see a correction down for at least the coming days even. And where could we end up? Well, the first initial target would be recovering this wick here around 42K. That's definitely possible. And what we can see here as well is that we have something like a bear pennant kind of structure. Yeah, so a bear pennant here. If we break this level of 46,200 more or less, then we could definitely see price levels of 42K ish. Let's look over at the BITO. This is the ProShares Bitcoin Strategy ETF. That's a futures ETF, and ever since it was launched, it's actually been in a downtrend. That's usually the case when these kind of new trading instruments launch. This puts also a lot of pressure on the Bitcoin price, and we see we broke the golden pocket here of the 1.618. Next target would be 2.618 over there, and potentially even the 3.618 at $20. So this also looks very bearish. It all lines up. Then let's go to the options. What do we have? We have Ethereum options here that have little volume here. Some, let's say, anything below 3,700. We have a peak here, but we have a lot of ways to go. So the max pain price of Ethereum right now for the end of the year expiration, which is the biggest one, is at 2.5K. That also signals more bearish sentiment and at least interest for the market maker to bring it down to that max pain price. If you don't know what that is, I explained to you in my last video. Then we have the open interest here on Bitcoin. Same story, they have room to move price, let's say sub 40K, where this volume is not that much as this bullish volume. I don't know who's trading these instruments, but to me it sounds quite stupid to put these high calls in there, but hey, that's not me. So it's all about the Fed meeting today, the FOMC. We have to wait to see what comes out of that and see how the market reacts. All right, that's it for today, guys. Let's see how this goes on. And if you like this content, please hit me up with a like and a subscribe and share it with your friends. And I'll see you probably tomorrow, maybe later today. Let's see what's going to happen. Ciao.